Hey YouTube, Sam here. We're working on the Yamaha Virago again here, and we are to the carburetors. So to see how I got this far, go check out. I have a series of other videos, so go check those out. But now we are gonna go ahead and probably pull these carburetors off. I haven't really decided yet. I was thinking about just leaving them in there, changing all the fuel lines, and seeing if I could run enough good gas through it to maybe clean it out, but I have got to kind of check these out and see. They're looking pretty dirty. First sign that these carburetors are probably going to come off is this right here, and nothing goes back. So at the very least they're gummed up. At the worst there's some springs or something broke in there. So I've got to take these off, just even if it's just to clean all this up, because hopefully you can see this without getting sick. Down here is way back up in here is where you might be able to see it move. You can see it right there. That's where that is. So I can't even really get to it and to clean it up hardly without removing the carburetors. So I think we're going to be definitely taking the carbs off. First thing that's going to go here is these vacuum lines. I just think I need to remove this one here. I should be able to pull that up out of my way. Then I'm going to have fuel lines and the choke cable here. Those things are all going to get out of my way. I'll probably just pull this off too. It's pretty short and just has a hose clamp here. This one goes further back, so I'm going to work on this one first. And for info purposes here, I'm on the left hand side of the bike. I removed the hose that went to here, and I also propped this one up here that goes up into the frame up in here. I left the T on here just so I know which direction things go here, and just for info purposes, there is a little arrow right here, and it's pointing to the front of the bike. So when you go put this back together, you know what direction things are supposed to go. I went ahead and just pulled these completely apart. I know I said I was going to pull them out of the way, but I'm going to have to get this off of here, and this goes, I believe, over to the other carb or over somewhere over there where I'm going to have it at some point taken loose anyway. So right now I'm just going to leave it right here until I'm ready to go over to that side, but that'll give me some more room to work on. The choke lever here, we'll just take this and loosen it up, maybe. Yeah, you don't probably need to do it all the way off. Just loosen it up. And just like the brake cables. Oh, and by the way, I have the choke, I believe, all the way choked, so it's as far out that way as it'll go. And then you can kind of bring this back towards you. It came out all by itself. So bring this towards you, bring the cable up, and pop it out. It's just like a barrel nut on the end here, and it just goes in there. So that's free. Here is this air inlet here. It just kind of hooks up into the frame, kind of like a hose clamp basically right here, and it just hooks right up into the frame here. And that actually, the inside of your box here, there's another one like this on the other side that goes out to your air filter. We're going to loosen this up. My hands are probably going to be totally in your way, but let's see here. Also loosen it up. There's a screw down here at the bottom of the carb, and that in theory should pull right off of there, but we'll see. Yeah. I don't know which side to pull off first. There we go. I'll pull it off the carb first. That seemed easier, and then that just comes off. Ugh, this is so dirty and nasty. It's stuck. Alright. Definitely glad I'm pulling these off. They need a serious cleaning. For identification purposes mostly, but in case you need help too, that goes on there. Right there. And that came off real easy. Couple little hose clip. in taking off the carburetors. I'm on the right hand side now, and there's this hose that goes back to this, I don't know what it is. It's vacuum hose stuff. I'm assuming that's kind of like a charcoal type filter of some sort. I really don't know. But anyways, in the interest of getting this off, I just want to get this out of the way. And this is just stuck on here. There's no clamps or anything on mine anyways, so that definitely probably means it's a vacuum line. So I just need to pop that off, get that out of the way. I'll probably just leave it hooked up back there. Alright, well, I got a 10mm here. It's been a few months, actually, probably, yeah, about a month probably since I worked on this last, so hopefully I can figure out where I left off a little bit here. But I see what I want to do next is right here. It's the throttle cables, taking the carburetor off, so I need to get those off, and there's a 10mm. So I'm gonna hopefully loosen this up a little bit. There we go, I'll pull that out. And this is similar to your brake cables here. You want to take this, get as much slack out of as you can. There's a little notch right in here. Get this to the notch and pull out the little barrel. It's got like a little barrel in that slips right in the notch. Now we can just pull this one off here without even undoing the cable here. Using those pliers, carefully try and snag this out of here. And there's that. That is how you take off the throttle cables from the carburetor. Now you may want two 10mm. I'm noticing that these are not wanting to turn very well, so I'm going to have to get up here with the 10mm to get this one loose, but you don't need to watch me do that. Just undo this, that'll pull up and pop right out of the little bracket. Unscrew this clamp here, and I'm going to try and take this off of here. This appears to be just kind of a cover on here, but I'm going to still try and leave it on there. There's a clamp here, and if you can see this, there's a clamp or a screw up here. I already loosened this one up, it looks like. So there we go. That looks like it should just kind of jiggle wiggle off on there, down off of there. And there's that piece there. And I lost the clamp here. I'll make sure I keep it the same direction so that I know that I can get to that screw there. And that needs some serious cleaning up. Yep. I definitely let this sit too long. And that's where the air inlet comes from the backbone here. That comes at the filter. If you can see this, you probably can't. I'll move you over here. Right here. The air filter box sits right here. And it goes up through here, through the backbone, down through here, and down into the carburetor. And that is how the air gets filtered and brought into the carburetor there. So we just got done taking this air inlet off here. I'm on the right hand side of the bike, just so you know. Now it appears to me that there's this here, and I already undid it back over here on the other side, and it looks to me, and I'm not positive, but it doesn't look like there's any brackets or anything holding this onto the frame. It's pretty much just held on by this and the other side. So in theory, I should be able to loosen this up. There's a screw right here, and I should be able to take this whole thing and twist it this way, the whole thing that direction, and in theory that should pop off there, and that should pop off there, and that should, in theory yet again, let those carburetors come out. Jiggling and wiggling this thing out to see if I can get it out, but I want to keep the camera on in case it pops out, because it's not coming out super easy, I'll tell you that. It's so close to coming out there. There we go. There's this side. And there's that side. So now that is just hanging in there. I gotta look at it further, fiddle fart with it, and see if I can somehow pull this out without tearing them apart. Well, I'm over here on the left hand side, and this fuel line here is actually attached to this bracket, which is attached to the carburetors, and that's something that's holding me up here. It looks like there might be another one over on the other side, but I'm going to go ahead and get this off, and just be aware that this line is attached down here and it goes back. I'm not sure if it's hooked to anything, but this one here, the actual fuel one that comes out and tees and goes to both sides, is definitely hooked to the carburetor. So I'm going to have to unhook that. Hopefully that'll get this loose. Well, I messed with this and I can't get it out, so I'm going to try and take these off. They're 10mm. This one I am having a lot of trouble getting to, and in the process I'm taking off this vacuum hose here. So this is more just so I remember, to be honest, than anything, that this vacuum hose goes here. And I'm going to keep fighting it. I'm on the right hand side of the bike. I'm over here on the left hand side of this bike, and I am just quarter of a turn, if even that, just flipping this wrench, getting on it. And it's really loose, but I cannot get in there with my fingers. And just that little bit, I've just been loosening it up little by little. And I had to come to this side of the bike over here to get the one for the other side of the bike. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that with this other one, but so far it's been a slow process, but that's the only way I can figure out how to get that bolt out of that off of there. And I just figured something out. There's a little gap right there in that gasket, and when I was trying to get this off, I noticed that after I'd already loosened this up most of the way. So really, if you get it, you're still gonna have to go over on the other side of the bike to get this, get a wrench on the end of this, and loosen it up. But you don't need to loosen it up as much as I did. I probably spent the last 20 minutes loosening that stupid thing up. I really didn't need to loosen it as much as I did. Now I can get in here and I can actually pull this thing completely off of here, and I'm hoping that the carburetors will come out without having to get back at that one over there, but we'll see. But that is definitely a big trick right there, to know you don't have to pull that out very much, because that definitely has like a slashing right there. And loosen this bolt. Looks like it has the same thing. It's got like a metal cover that goes around it. When you loosen this bolt off, this metal cover right here pulls forward and there's a gap. Same as this one right here. And so you just have to loosen that up and then pull it out. So I'm going to do that next, and the carburetors look like they should come out when I get there. Alright, this is the moment of truth here. Whoa! There is the carburetors all out now, kind of to keep crap out of the holes. But anyhow, that's how you pull carburetors off of your Yamaha Virago. Go ahead and give me thumbs up, thumbs down. Subscribe if you want. Keep an eye out. I'll probably be cleaning these up, if not rebuilding. This is Sam, Jack of all, Master of none. Y'all have a good one.